While filming a documentary on two high schoolers, something insane happened.
Oh, by the way, look at this ball of pocket in my hand. Hey, don't grab it.
Interesting. I mean, no, this is pretty interesting. That whole new outbreak of flu in Connecticut.
Oh yeah, don't they have like coughing?
Yeah, and I heard sneezing was another. Bless you.
My face hurts a little bit.
Face hurts. I know body aching was a symptom. Even
Yeah.
fever. Do I feel hot?
You are pretty hot.
Thanks.
No problem.
What was the other one? There's runny noses. That was a big deal.
So I carry tissues on me.
Ew.
Oh, it's not on me right now.
Anyway,
Did you actually just pick your nose in front of me? Did you just do that?
I wiped it. Anyways, another symptom is like vomiting and
And like massive diarrhea.
In the arms of the angel, fly away from here.
They just caught themselves a case of influenza, also known as Spanish flu. If you don't know what it is, we're here to tell you.
Spanish flu is caused by influenza virus type A, B, and C. Type A can be found in animals such as horses, pigs, and ducks, while type B can be found in us humans. The first outbreak was reported in Kansas, in the United States, although some scientists believe and hypothesize that it was originally started in China and that the virus had mutated, going through pigs and then avian flu back to people.
Before the Spanish flu, there were the pandemics and epidemics of smallpox, yellow fever, and how do you say that word?
Cholera.
Cholera. Smallpox was the first terrible epidemic, unlike the Spanish flu, which was a pandemic. Eventually, smallpox ended in 1949. Another epidemic is yellow fever, which was brought by a group of refugees from the Caribbean islands to Philadelphia in 1793. Before the Spanish flu was the cholera pandemic. This is an ongoing disease just like the Spanish flu. Cholera is still killing 130,000 people worldwide and infecting 3 to 5 million people.
You can get influenza by breathing in someone else, an infected person's cough, or you can get someone else's like bodily fluid on them. Oh wait, what is this? It seems I have caught the flu.
Did you ever think that you would get the flu?
No, everybody got the flu, except me. I'm the tough one, and now.
She just fall?
So, the same question, do you ever think that it would happen to you?
I mean, I hang out with homeless dudes. Not surprised.
Then we really wanted to know if anybody else had gotten what these kids had gotten. So, after some brief research, and by that I mean endless hours of searching the internet, we found some data on people who reported being infected with the flu from September 28th, 2014 to December 31st, 2015. In our data table, you can see the weeks at September 28th as our X values and the number of infected people as our Y values. And that pretty much means anybody that went to a doctor or hospital and was reported with having the flu. After that, we plugged in all our data and we got this lovely graph. And as you can see, it's an exponential growth graph, although there are some small decays. And then
We found the projected values by using the equation y equals a times b to the x and choosing 2 points on our graph, 1 in 200 and 3 in 300. We started by solving for a. We substituted in the first point into the original equation, then divided b to the first on both sides. which gave us A equals 200 over B to the first. Next, we solved for B using the other point, 3 and 300. We plugged in all our given values into the original equation and ended up with 200B squared. Then to get B by itself, we had to divide 200 on both sides. This gave us 1.5 equals B squared. To get B absolutely by itself, we square rooted B squared and 1.5 to get our answer of B equals 1.2. Third, we had to go back and completely solve for A. We ended up getting A equals 166.7, so our final equation is Y equals 167 times 1.2 to the X.
And then
We plugged our x's into our new equation so that we can find the new points for each different place on the graph.
one example would be if we took our x value of 2. We'd plug it into the equation and then we'd get the answer of 240.048. And then we'd plug that into our new data table with the new column for y values and then graph that instead to get this graph. Our new y values are seen on the far right of the data table and our new graph is now seen in red.
In our graph, we notice it gradually gets larger and the reported values are larger than the projected values. In comparison to the reported model, our model is a solid exponential growth, while the reported one has some growth and some decreases. But overall, they are both increasing.
After getting all the data, we really wanted to know how the flu became so exponential and what made it exponential.
You can tell when an epidemic is exponential when it becomes a pandemic. We know this when the diseases start to spread around the world instead of just in a specific area. For example, yellow fever. It was an epidemic because it only spread throughout Philadelphia. And a pandemic would be cholera, which is a disease that is still around worldwide.
The thing that makes epidemics exponential is the rate of growth in which people get the disease and get sick. We know this because we can see that more people get sick after a certain amount of time. It is important to know how an epidemic spreads because then you can know how to isolate it and how to cure it and keep it from continuing on to other people and spreading to other places. We can also learn how to stop it if it happens again during another period of time or something.
Oh, wait, what the heck was that? Anyway.
Well, I've pooped for 5 weeks straight, so it was like frictionless. I felt nothing. I sat in the toilet and just kept flowing out of me. It was like like a river. Have you ever pooped blood red? Have you ever pooped blood red? It was like a laxative. Like I had 2 laxatives. I couldn't. Surprised my butt. It was like Mount Everest got blown up, except like no one was surviving. There were no survivors. Yeah.
Fever, do I feel hot?
You are pretty hot.
Well, thanks for your time, Paul.
You ever felt chunks blood?
Booty.